What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Beyond the Barrel Bourbon. That is Phil.
I'm Phil.
I am Eric, and this is the brand new Angel's Envy Triple Oak. I'm gonna start opening it now in case we get into
Good idea.
another plastic debacle. Um, you know much about it? Other than it's Triple Oak?
The only thing I really know about it is it's your traditional 4 to 6 years old Angel's Envy,
Mm-hmm.
and then they divide it up into 3 separate oak casks.
Mm-hmm.
Hungarian, French, and Chinkapin, my personal favorite.
Same.
So, I know you're probably thinking Oak Bomb.
Yeah, going into it, I will say that I'm probably thinking. Look, I gotta temper my expectations, right? Like I fell in love with that oak bomb with Found North, and I've been chasing after that oaky profile. I kind of got it. I got a lot of that oak on that Sagamore double oak.
Okay.
So I guess if I had to temper my expectations, I would say I'm hoping it can kind of run with something like a Sagamore double oak. I'm hoping it can
That's fair.
give me something like a Maker's French oak, maybe not the cast strength, but the French oak.
I would expect it to be in that kind of Woodford double oak
What's up?
category.
Ready?
Sure.
That's a good one.
But each of those 3 different oaks kind of give me a different. Like when I think of Chinkapin oak, I think of more of those like earthy, woody, kind of almond, vanilla kind of notes.
I think Chinkapin is a
Ooh, I hit the thing there.
I think Chinkapin is a native Kentucky tree.
And when I think of French oak, I think of those baking spices. Nutmeg, clove,
Mhm.
cinnamon, that kind of stuff. And then on the Hungarian,
I don't know much about
that
that.
I would probably anticipate like a little kind of like a fruit note, maybe
So
apples,
I
pears, not pears, peaches. Those
right,
kind of,
I'm not sure.
I don't know what you call them. Not tree fruits,
Aren't
but
they stone fruits?
no, stone fruits
That's
are
peach.
pitted
Yeah,
fruit.
pitted fruit.
Peaches. I'm trying to think of kind of, I don't know, but they grow on trees. But
Thanks, man.
so do oranges and stuff like that.
So
So
do pecans.
no, but I'm talking about
I
fruit.
know. Uh,
So I'm wondering if we're gonna get kind of all aspects. If it's
yeah, I just want to get oak, man. It's like I'm forever chasing that oak, right? Like you're a big oak fan. I mean, I've become a big oak fan, but it's like I've kind of gotten to that point where I'm a particular oak flavor fan.
well, the particular oak note that I like is mostly
Yeah,
that oak note that I like is mostly comes through on old whiskey,
right. Well, that
like
makes
those
sense.
Found Norths, super
EC18,
old, like the last batched edition with the 9.
19
Um,
years.
the youngest whiskey in that's 19 years. Although I do kind of get a hint of that in some of the Still Austin,
Hmm.
even though that's kind of younger whiskey, it is aged in a climate that might age it a little
I
quicker
also got that from the Still Austin.
than your traditional Kentucky or Tennessee whiskey.
This just dropped in the distillery on September 14th. So what's that? 4 days ago? 5 days ago? So to say that we're getting it, seeing it on shelves, I saw it. I wound up going to Savannah yesterday. What's up, Joe?
Hey Joe,
He's still got those. He got those new Knob Creek store picks in that we were able to help him pick out. So um,
last time I was there, he had those Peerless
still has them.
single barrels for like 50
They're
bucks.
50 bucks. They're still there. He's running out of them. Like so, like people are actually starting to catch on and buy them. But 50 bucks hard to pass up on a Peerless.
On a
But
Peerless single barrel, that's
yeah,
like a 100 MSRP bottle.
easily, and it's very good. We brought that to the beach and enjoyed it. But he had these on the shelf, and I was like, oh man, like I can't believe this has hit the local shelves this fast.
Just
So
quickly, and we traditionally here in
yeah,
Louisiana get things a little later
yeah. So
if we get them at all.
that's why I was there. I'll call Phil. I'm like, Phil, you wanna do a show on this one real quick? So We're kind of letting this breathe a little bit. Angel's Envy. So it's funny because like I'm kind of like looking into the nerdy stuff. So the name actually comes from what is they said that when they put it in the barrel, you lose over the aging process. You lose about 5%. They call it the angel share. And the guy Lincoln Henderson, the master distiller back in the day, he said I guess they were sampling a bunch of them, and he's like he finally got one. He finally got a barrel that outdid the Angels. So that's where Angels Envy's name comes from.
One of my gripes with Angel's Envy is, especially on like their higher end cask finished
Mhm.
whiskeys, their series of like those cask like port cask strength finish. I have no idea anything about it other than what its finish is. I don't know how
Right.
old it is.
Definitely wish they'd put some age statement on it.
I mean, I know the this one's somewhere between 4 to 6. But if you're on those cash strengths, are going for,
Like
200,
250.
$250,
Yeah.
and it could be 6-year-old whiskey in there.
Yeah, and so
Ready to smell this though.
it does smell good. I've given it a couple of sniffs, but
I
you
get,
smell cinnamon? I smell
I
cinnamon.
smell apple right off the
I
bat,
smell cinnamon.
like apple cinnamon.
Apple cinnamon. But so I will always have like a soft spot in my heart for Angel's Envy. I'll always have a bottle of it just somewhere on the shelf. I mean, I know they're off the shelf stuff. It's pretty good. I know they were MGP for a long time. I know they've been doing their own distillate for a while now. I don't know. I'd be lying if I gave you the actual time frame, but I will always have a bottle of Angel's Envy sitting on my shelf somewhere because it was the very first bourbon I ever tried. My cousin gave me a regular off the shelf Angel's Envy for my birthday one year, and that was my first experience with bourbon after years of drinking Scotch, and I thought it was great. It was like a cinnamon bomb, and that's what put me in love with bourbon, and that's kind of why we're here today. So
You ready
I
to
am
nose this
yeah,
thing?
let's nose it, man. Apple cinnamon
Man,
big time on the
this
on
is
the front.
almost like a cinnamon apple Pop Tart.
This is almost like a John J. Bowman, in like on the nose for me. I'm not getting a ton of oak on the nose
The
though.
John J. Bowman's a little fruitier for me. This got a little bit. I'd get a little oak char.
This is not a rye.
It's got a kind of a dusty note to it.
I know there's a conception that Angel's Envy is mostly rye, but this is actually a bourbon.
I was not aware that that conception
I wasn't either until today.
existed.
I saw that
Um,
somewhere that a lot of people like relate rye to Angel's Envy.
I do expect some of those kind of spices on this just because of that French oak
Yeah,
influence. Yeah, this like an apple cinnamon Pop
it's very
Tart,
sweet on the nose, very very fruit forward. Apple
a
cinnamon.
little bit of brown sugar and vanilla.
I'm not getting a ton of caramel on it. No butterscotch. I'm not getting a ton of your traditional bourbon
A
noses.
little dusty oak char,
Yeah,
but not what I would call a heavy oak influence as far as that note I know you're chasing.
it's not there on the nose. Well,
But there is some oak char
I'm
here.
starting to pick it up a little bit now. Starting to pick up that oak.
But yeah,
Almost.
the very first note I got was apple cinnamon Pop Tart.
I've never had an apple cinnamon pop tart. I've had cinnamon and I've had. I don't even. Is there an apple pop tart?
Apple cinnamon Pop Tart. There better be because I
It,
said it like 6 times.
yeah, but I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I think there is, man. I think there is.
Maybe I like pop tarts.
Yeah, that's the first note I got.
You know what it reminds me of on the nose? It
You don't
does.
get any. There's a pretty hefty vanilla presence
There's
here, I
very
think.
yeah. Do you? I mean, that reminds me of the makers. The cast strength. It's very like I'm kind of getting this, not so much on the toffee side of it, but I can smell the oak, and I'm wondering if that's the French oak influence.
Spices I'm smelling, I'm assuming, are French oak. That apple, I'm assuming, is the
I'm definitely getting.
Hungarian.
I'm definitely getting some nutmeg on the back
That
end
kind
on
of
the
oak
nose.
char note, I'm assuming, is
Ready for a
the chinkapin.
you ready for a swig?
Yeah.
Let's do this, man.
What's the MSRP on this? $75?
Mm-hmm.
About 75, but I have seen it online for like $60 to $70 as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I get some cinnamon. It's actually kind of butterscotchy or creme brulee.
There's kind of yeah.
It's
There's
definitely
a toffee honey note there.
yeah.
Right before the finish kicks in, there is kind of this like fruity, like appley jam note almost.
It's
I've never had apple jam, but that's what I imagine apple jam would taste like.
just pulverized apples.
But it's definitely got a peppery note to it, which like I said, I'm guessing is that French oak influence, a little peppery,
Dude,
wood,
the nose is really lovely on this.
cinnamon, nutmeg for sure.
It definitely. Are you getting the butterscotch? Not so much butterscotch, but like it's kind of butterscotch, but more creme brulee. Kind of. It's kind of it's decadent in a way. I'm getting oak. Definitely getting oak.
I'm getting what you're getting as oak. I'm probably getting as that peppery wood note.
Mm-hmm.
I do get like a toffee honey, which might be what your creme brulee note is. Um, see if there's any.
This is pretty
I have
good.
a feeling this is one that'll change
Mm-hmm.
like as you sip it.
It's 92 proof. I mean, it's definitely not high proof. But it doesn't drink like a low proofer.
Well, I think that's that spice.
Maybe so.
That spice may be making it drink a little kickier.
I do get the pepper, kind of like a cracked pepper. I liked it. I
But the the finish is kind of drying, kind of tannic, and I think that's just due to the presence of being aged in three separate oak barrels. So it makes sense. Um, like it doesn't sit on my palate that long. It
it's
dries up. I get that. So I get those right before the finish kicks in. I get this hit of fruit note, that apple jam, and then honestly, it's peppery forward kind of.
it
And
is.
then I get that hint of fruit note, and then this drying tannic finish for me.
I mean the finish lingers for me a little bit. It's not bad. I don't find the tannic note. You know, I don't taste ethanol. I don't taste alcohol.
Well, that's not what I mean by tannic.
No. I'm telling you what I'm going through. Like I'm not. I'm trying to go through what I'm tasting, what I'm not tasting. I'm not getting those telltale things that turn me off of a whiskey.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not getting the tannic note. I'm not getting the alcohol, ethanol, whatever you want to call it. I'm not getting the minty chemically ness that I look for and don't like. Um, no, I mean overall, I'm happy with it.
Honestly, for me, this might be a good mixer.
You think?
The problem is I'm not paying $75 for a mixer.
So I'm gonna go opposite of you, man. I like this.
Okay.
I
Well,
like I this is something that I can see myself sipping on. When when I'm kind of looking for that oaky, like desserty kind of finish. I think this is
I don't get enough of those vanillas, brown
right.
sugars on the palate to
Which is crazy
consider it
because
a desserty finish.
the nose is
I
killer on
don't think
vanilla.
I wouldn't describe it. I was getting oak char on the nose, but I'm not getting that oak char on the palate. It's more of a lighter wood note with that pepper, which to me that's what makes it kind of a good mixer. Um, at the price point, I'm not paying that much for a mixer. Not that I have a particular issue with this as far as it being good, but do I think it's priced higher? Like, would I go buy it at $75? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Above 75,
no.
I'm not buying
I'm not
it.
buying it. I think listen,
Would I rather go buy a double oaked for Woodford for $50 to $60?
and that's where I'm different.
Probably.
And that's where I'm different. I'm gonna go with this over the double oak Woodford.
Okay.
Only because I like that kind of velvety, the velvety. It's not a velvety. It's not a big monster mouthfeel like what we had the other day. It's like where it just kind of coats everything, but it. I can definitely see the oak influence on it, and I'm kind of a fan.
So for you,
For me, it's a buy it.
at 75,
I'll say 70. I'll say $70.
you can find it for.
Yeah, if you can find it between 60 and 70. I mean, honestly, like if you try it and love it, 75 is whatever. But I mean,
To me,
do I think this is whiskey of the year for me? No.
for me, it should be closer to that Woodford Double Oak price range.
Mm-hmm.
So at 70 plus, I'm out.
I feel you. I respect that.
50, $55.
And you know
It's
what
more
though,
in line
it's,
with what I'm getting here.
it's pretty. I'm pretty. It's a pretty cool thing to show that like palates can be different. And I'm all for it. I think again.
But you do get the influence of all three oak
You do.
barrels in there.
And I would be open to doing a revisit on this in a couple of months and just see what it does.
Like this, let's say if they were going to do a cash strength series with that,
Cool.
it might be better than their, port finish cash strength.
Check it out, Angels Envy.
However,
giving you
Angels
some
Envy,
ideas.
if
Big
you
ideas
charge
here.
$250
We're
for
not
that,
buying it.
I'm not buying it.
I'll buy it for $150.
I'm going to tell all of our 1.5 million subscribers not to buy it.
Hit that
Well,
speaking of 1.5 million, hit that little like button, that subscribe button. We appreciate the
Just give
support.
us something reasonable on a
Yeah, I
even
do.
100 to 150.
You know what they kind of remind me of with their price point stuff is kind of like a 15 stars, right? It's like
15 stars. Well,
Well,
I say that.
I can't say
That's
that.
Sherry cask. Good, man.
Yeah, triple cask is better to me, but
15 stars ain't charging 250 bucks
they're up there.
for.
They're 180. They're up there, man.
That's not 250. But
I get it.
like I said,
Yeah, so you got one yes, one no. I guess make of that what you want.
if you're curious enough, try to find it in that 50 to 60.
Yeah, if you
range.
can get it, well, you're not gonna get it at 50. I think
I've
60
seen
is.
some stuff online.
Have you? The cheapest I've seen is $59.99. But then you got to pay
the
for
most
shipping.
I see a lot of 60 on there.
Dude, that nose has changed. I smell maple. See if you smell
If you're
maple.
super curious, at 60, sure.
If you're extra super
MSRP,
curious,
if-
DM us and we might send you a sample.
At 75, even
comment.
if you're curious, I'm not.
We need a
Just
comment.
can't.
You comment if you'd be curious in a sample of this.
But yeah, that's my opinion. I'd rather sip on a
Double
wood
oak.
for double oak.
That's fair.
All things considered.
I got you. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the support. And Phil's got to finish his so he can throw something at my camera. We will catch you guys tomorrow.
This
I think
is gonna be the
Saturday?
one.
It's not gonna be the one.
It's gonna be the
It's
one.
not gonna be the one.
Tomorrow is not Saturday.
Whatever. I don't know what day it is. Either way,
I know
see
you're
y'all.
working so hard, you lose track of time. But
do.
tomorrow is Friday.
I do. See y'all soon, guys.
Okay, that was almost.
No,
the
it was.